Bucher. So I was told the Clippers are third. Chris Broussard said they're out, yet they had the quietest, most covert, most professional, nothing leaked meetings, and I was told that matters a lot. So if that matters and they aced it, why are they third?
It doesn't matter the most.
Okay, what does?
What matters the most, and I think this is the element that people have not taken into account, is that only playing 9 games his last year in San Antonio was not something that Kawhi wanted to do. He's like Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose, any number of guys. This next year for KD is going to be absolute torture. He wanted to play. He just physically couldn't. So the ability to play and play an entire season, even if it takes nursing him through, even if it takes load management, that's going to be the priority here. Like who and where allows me to get through the season and play an entire season and be able to play in the finals. And the Clippers, when you measure it by that, you look at the Lakers, you have other stars that can carry the load. The Toronto Raptors have demonstrated already for a full year, dude, we can get you to the finals. We know how to handle you physically. That's going to put them ahead of the Clippers, who that's why they so desperately wanted to get that second star, because that would be their ace in the hole to say, hey, we can do the same thing as Toronto.
Yeah, 2 things have happened that are bad for the Clippers. They couldn't get the second star, and everybody in the West feels better. And so the reality is they were an 8 seed last year.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
No.
The guys sharing your building are better.
No.
So it's, that's fascinating, because on the outside, the Lakers are a circus. Everything leaks. The Raptors yesterday was a Bronco chase. And I'm like, God, the Clippers I haven't heard a peep.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything. They've been perfect. But in the end, Kawhi's looking at it and saying, I need about 15 games off. And by the way, even with 15 off, Rick, he was gassed during certain times in the playoffs.
No doubt about it. So it's a matter of which, and that's really what he's weighing here. I think the other element that the reason that it's taking as much time as it is because Kawhi stuck to his word. As you would imagine an automaton like Kawhi, I'm going to worry about my free agency once the season is over. And everybody's like, come on, these guys, KD and Kyrie are talking about it since last summer, 2 years ago, whatever. Kawhi really was, I'm going to see what I'm going to do with Toronto. And then when I get to the finish line and we're done, now I'm going to turn my attention to this. And so he has all these things to weigh on top of the fact that the Lakers have changed what they have, and the addition of Anthony Davis changes their formula. And he won a championship with the Toronto Raptors, which changes how the scene looks from that standpoint.
Yeah. So we know this, that if you spoil your kids, I was just reading a story the other day about Anderson Cooper's late great mother, Gloria Vanderbilt, passed. Mm-hmm. And she's always told him, I'm not going to give you all the money.
Yeah.
And his belief, he's a very ambitious guy, Anderson Cooper. He said, listen, giving kids a trust fund and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in their teens and 20s, it sucks the aspiration out of you.
Yeah.
Like, why work? We know this as parents if you spoil kids.
Sure.
The NBA is star-driven. I'm comfortable with that. It's a different culture than the NFL, which is kind of coach, quarterback-driven, GM-driven. But there does get to a point where are we spoiling the players? I'm reading a story this morning that Kevin Durant didn't get along with Steve Kerr. Mm-hmm. Okay, Boogie Cousins worked there. Nick Young worked there. Iggy was told, as a great player, go to the bench.
Yes.
That worked.
Yes.
They changed Mark Jackson. There's been bumps. Are we getting to the point with KD? He's gotten to be K Diva. There's a little neediness here. At some point, he's accountable for something.
So when he first got there, we didn't hear any of this. It was kumbaya. He got his championships. And look, from the beginning of the year, he wasn't planning on staying there. And I think this is also part of human nature, which is once you've made your mind up that you're going to do something, indirectly, you start coming up with justifications as to why it's the thing that you should do. You know what? This person's not who I thought they were. This doesn't quite work the way I hoped it would. And so I think some of this is backlogging why he made the original decision to leave in the first place. The other part is
self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. And so the other element is this reminds me, again, the way that KD is tracking reminds me so much of LeBron. LeBron went to Miami. Why? Because he didn't have rings and he had to prove that he was a champion, that he could be a champion. So he goes to Miami and he follows their blueprint. Stop shooting the threes, play below the free throw line. We're going to post you up a little bit more. And it worked. KD, same thing. He had to change. He had to become a better defender, had to share the ball, had to move off the ball more, had to change it. And he won his championships. And then LeBron in Miami said, you know what? Now that I know the formula, I want to go win a championship the way I want to play. And I think KD is in the same spot. It's like, okay, I got the rings. I got that monkey off my back. Now I want to play the way I want to play. I want to be the main straw that stirs the drink. And I want to go win a championship. I want to have it all. And that's the part that I think is really hard for all of us to grasp, is that most of us have to make compromises. We can get this and this. We have to leave this behind. I think players in the position of a LeBron or a KD, they can look at it and go, well, I want it all. I want it my way. I want the championship, but I want to get it my way. And that's where he is at this point.
And to segue off that is interesting. If Kawhi doesn't go to the Lakers, and there's every indication Toronto has a very good chance, and Kevin Durant, like LeBron in Cleveland, there is no front runner. I talked to a Vegas odds maker 2 days ago, and he said if Kawhi doesn't go to the Lakers, the Kevin Durant, Kyrie, DeAndre Jordan team will be the favorite.
Well,
in the NBA.
It can be, but I have as many doubts about that combination. First of all, DeAndre Jordan for 4 more years, $40 million. I don't know. There's no way that you're going to get value out of that. That was, we're going to give him the $40 million so that we can make Kyrie and KD happy and we can close that deal. That was essentially orchestrated by these players. And that's the other element here. Like, we keep looking at the franchises as if they're directing this. The players have taken ownership about what they're going to do and where they're going to go. This whole idea that Kawhi is going to be convinced because of some pitch from Doc Rivers or Magic Johnson no, he's going to look at the business opportunities. He's going to look at the roster. He's going to look at, how do I see my chances of winning another championship? And those are the things that he's going to weigh. It's not going to be some personal pitch from somebody that's going to sway the day.
I think it's a general rule in life, Ric Bucher joining us, that life's never in the moment as bad or as great as it feels. There's the great duality of life. I've gone through heartbreak. I'm sure you have. There's always a silver lining, and even on the best days, it's not as grand as you think, right? Yeah. And this morning in New York, people are freaking out. The Knicks can't attract anybody. I am told you believe all hope is not lost.
Yeah. No, not at all. Because New York, for the longest time, has built or at least maybe this is from the outside as well. I think within the franchise and outside the franchise, it's New York. It's the market. That's what's going to attract guys. And I think there was a point in the league where that was true. Yeah. Playing in a big market made a difference for guys.
I think 20 years ago, sure.
Now the money is so great and the global marketing is so pervasive, it doesn't matter where you are.
Right.
And I really believe that this is seeped upward from AAU. You don't have to be a player from New York or LA or play on a team like that. You're going to go to the tournaments in Las Vegas and Atlanta and wherever, from Indiana or wherever you might play. The Oakland Soldiers. That was one of the great AAU programs. So players have become accustomed to that. Now it becomes, okay, so what's your organization all about? What's the facilities all about? Can I trust that you know how to put together a championship team? And I honestly believe for the first time, with guys like Scott Perry and David Fizdale, who have a track record of being with organizations that built championships from the ground up, that they're doing it the right way. They know that you have a 17-win team. Okay, so we're going to put Kawhi Leonard on it and KD on it, and everything's fine. And did they take their shot at that? Absolutely they did. But they were still going to have to build a team. So once they struck out, once they had that heartbreak, it was, okay, well, now we need to go about the business of developing the talent that we have. We're not going to go out there and sign a Tobias Harris to a max or a Kemba Walker to make the optics look good. We need to build a team. And so they got everybody on short contracts. If you look at free agency, I think everybody's looking at free agency 2020, which is, Anthony Davis has said, he's going to leave his options open, either New York or the Lakers are the two teams. The Knicks or the Lakers are the two teams that are favored by him. But after that, 2021, you got potentially Giannis on the market. You got Paul George on the market, Bradley Beal on the market. You've got a host of stars that are available. And they've basically targeted that and said, we need to be better than 17. Like, let's put ourselves in a position where we're a 35, 40-win team, and we get to 2021, and now all these free agents become available, these superstars, we're going to be presenting a different thing. And the Knicks have not approached it that way since maybe Donnie Walsh was there.
Ric Bucher, good stuff. Coutinho Mobley next hour. Good seeing you, bud. We are obviously on Kawhi Leonard watch. I have been told, oh, by the way, quickly, I've been told Raptors, Lakers, Clippers third. You've been told?
Same.
Okay.
Same. And I was told yesterday we should get a result in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Good stuff, Ric Bucher. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.